So part C of this problem asks us to use differentials to estimate the change in the company's profit between producing 30 to 32. So when you use differentials, you always need to take your equation that you're using, take the derivative of it, but split up your y and x, or in this case your p and x. So by doing the differential of this equation, what we'll end up with is dp equals, now we're going to take the derivative of this equation, which would be negative 0.6x, so we're going to, because we multiply the 2 down, plus 15, and we do times dx. So what I did was I just took the derivative of this equation, but instead of saying dp dx, I just moved the dx over to this side. So what we need to do is estimate the change in producing 30 units versus producing 32. So when you're doing differentials to estimate change, dx always represents the amount of change in that variable. We know we're going from 30 units up to 32. So that means that dx is equal to 2. Keep in mind, if your units were going down, you would have to consider your dx to be negative. So if we were going from 32 to 30, we would say dx is negative 2. So in this case, dx is positive 2. The x that you plug into the function is always your starting value, because that's what you're using to estimate for the future. So our x is going to be 30. So notice we can plug in x and we can plug in dx, and that will give us dp. Let's think about what dp is. dp gives us the estimated change in profit by going from 30 units to 32 units. So that's exactly what C is asking us. So if we plug in our values here, we get negative 0.6 times 30 plus 15, and that is all times 2. So 0.6 times 30 is 18, so we're going to get negative 18 plus 15, which is negative 3, times 2, which is negative 6. So by using differentials based off of the profit at selling 30 units, if we went up to selling 32, it would actually make us lose 6 profit using this estimation. So therefore, D, we can answer based off of that. Approximately then, what would the profit be of producing 32? Well, it went down 6 from producing 30 units. And if you remember from the previous video, part B, we figured out that the profit of producing 30 units was 168. So the approximate, so we're going to say approximately P of 32 is 168 minus 6. Because we're saying this approximation tells us that we will lose about $6 profit by making 32 instead of making 30. Well, we made 168 when we were making 30. So this is saying that we will make approximately $162 of profit if we made 32 units instead. And part E is saying let's make the comparison. What is the actual profit when we do 32? This was the model, this was our estimation model. But the actual value, you could just plug in 32 here and see what we get, and let's see how close it is. So we're just going to do P of 32 and see what we get. I'll bring out a calculator for this one. So we're going to get negative 0.3 times 32 squared plus 15 times 32 minus 12. And let's see what that gives us. So we do 32 squared times negative 0.3. So by doing this, we get 160.8. So remember that our profit from producing 30 was 168. Our actual profit of producing 32, just by plugging in and seeing, is 160.8. Using differential, we got that it would approximately have gone down 6 to 162. Kind of close, not really. But if you use a closer value, like approximating 30 to 31, the differential approximate is going to be better. So differentials is just a way to approximate by using the derivative. Sometimes in problems that's easier, sometimes not. This is just showing you how to compare the two.
The Teaching Center, UF's Learning Resource Center.